Many people equate $2 million with yachts and private jets. In reality, at a safe withdrawal rate, $2 million produces about $80,000 a year. That provides real freedom, but it functions as a comfortable upper-middle-class salary, not a financial empire. Wealth at this level is surprisingly easy to break. 70% of affluent families lose their fortune by the second generation. By the third, 90% have slid back to where they started. Consider two coworkers, Mark and Carla. They shared the same office and the same salary, and on a single Tuesday, they both crossed the $2 million mark with nearly identical portfolios. Within 18 months, their paths split by over $1 million. Carla's portfolio climbed to $2.4 million, while Mark's plunged to $1.26 million in the exact same market. Mark didn't fall for a scam or a market crash. He failed because he used the same strategies to keep his money that built it. But the rules of the game change the moment you arrive. High net worth turns you into a legal target. Below $2 million, lawyers rarely pursue you because there is nothing to chase. Above that line, every fender bender becomes a potential payday for someone else. Mark bought a brand new luxury SUV in cash to celebrate. Months later, his son borrowed the car and caused an accident. The resulting lawsuit totaled $810,000, which was $310,000 more than Mark's auto policy covered. That gap came directly out of his brokerage account. Carla defended herself with a $1 million umbrella insurance policy for $383 a year. This policy stacks on top of auto and home coverage to catch the catastrophic claims that standard insurance ignores. Trap 2 arrives as a handshake with a wealth advisor who offers to manage everything for a 1% annual fee. To Mark, 1% felt like a rounding error. This chart shows the machine Mark worked with. A $2 million portfolio safely outputs $80,000 of income. 1% of $2 million is $20,000. That's a quarter of the machine's annual output, paid out for a quarterly newsletter. Treating wealth as a passive reward, or delegating its management, without auditing the math actively bleeds the portfolio's capacity. Mark's proactive builder instinct told him to do something when the market dipped. Terrified of a crash, he moved $800,000 into cash and watched from the sidelines, while the market rallied 31% over the next 2 years. This chart of the S&P 500 highlights the sharp V-shape of the March 2020 crash. For a retiree, watching their life savings drop this fast prompts emotional, defensive decisions. This illustrates sequence of returns risk. If a crash happens early in retirement and you are forced to sell shares at the bottom to pay bills, your portfolio never recovers. If that same crash occurs later, the wealth has enough cushion to survive. Carla neutralized this risk by keeping 2 years of spending in a cash buffer. When the market crashed, she spent the cash and allowed her stocks to heal in peace. Trap 4 is concentration. Mark bet $150,000 on a friend's private crypto fund based on a glossy chart. Within months, the fund froze withdrawals and eventually lost 80% of its value. Concentration rarely feels like gambling. It usually looks like loyalty to an employer or a hometown asset. However, as the Enron collapse proved, singular bets were often fatal to a nest egg. Losses and gains are not symmetric. An 80% drop in value requires a 400% gain just to reach the original baseline. It takes decades for the market to deliver that kind of recovery. Attempting to time market crashes or beat the average through concentrated bets are offensive strategies that break a defensive machine. Lifestyle creep is the trap that complements you while it drains you. Mark's new SUV made his driveway look old, and the new driveway made the kitchen look dated. Within 2 years, his annual spending increased by $48,000. This equation links annual spending directly to required capital. Every $10,000 of permanent annual spending requires $250,000 of underlying assets. Mark's $48,000 of annual creep required $1.2 million of capital he didn't have. Carla used a spending cap instead. She limited all lifestyle upgrades to 1% of her net worth each year. On a $2 million portfolio, that allowed for $20,000 of guilt-free rewards without touching the principal. The silent ratchet of lifestyle creep bankrupts your future capacity without ever sending a bill. The true antagonist in this story is the specific personality profile of the self-made millionaire. Aggression, extreme self-confidence, and concentration of effort are the traits that built Mark's wealth. The moment he crossed $2 million, those assets became fatal liabilities. His confidence told him he could outsmart the market, and his aggression made sitting still feel like failure. Below $2 million, your salary can refill a bucket after a loss. Above $2 million, the portfolio out-earns the person. A catastrophic loss at this stage is permanent because no salary on earth can replace it. Mark practiced silence, hiding the money from his children to protect them. Carla wrote a one-page plan and trained her daughter on the logic of the machine, ensuring the next generation understood the defense. To survive hitting your ultimate financial goal, you must undergo an identity shift. You must fire the aggressive builder who made the fortune and hire the boring, defensive guardian to protect it.